Okay, so today we're going to take a look at the layer property manager, and we're going to be creating layers for our AutoCAD templates. And whenever we make a change to our template, we want to save our changes back to that template so that every time we open a new drawing, all these changes are here. And so today what we're going to look at specifically is creating new layers and then changing their name, changing their color, assigning a line type to them, assigning a specific line weight, and then either setting them to plot or not to plot. And these are going to be all the layers that we should use in all of our classes for AutoCAD. And so your task today is, as you're following along, to recreate all of these layers in your template so that they're there every time you open a drawing. Alright, so let me go ahead and get out of this and get back to a drawing where I want to start from. So if you go out to AutoCAD, click on your little new sheet of paper. When your select template dialog box comes up, go ahead and select that ACAD template. We've already made a couple of changes to it, and so now we're going to add our layer changes to it. So go ahead and click on ACAD and hit open. When this comes up, the first thing that we'll do is we're going to go to our layer property manager. The easiest place to find that is on the home tab of your ribbon. Come over here to your layers panel, and it's the very first icon in that panel. If you hover over it, it'll tell you it's layer properties. Just go ahead and click on that. And right now this is what your layer property manager should look like. You only have one layer, and by default that layer is layer 0. There's no way to get rid of that layer. It will always stay there. And so right now just go ahead and take a couple of minutes and pause this if you need to, just to rearrange your columns by dragging them so that you can see all their names. So you can hover over the little vertical line in between columns and then left click and hold it down, and you can drag it to resize the width of that column. So go ahead and do that for all of your columns so that you can read the top of the column and see what's in each of the cells. Okay, so after you've done that, now we're going to start creating our layers. The first layer that we're going to create is an object layer. So you come up here and there's these 4 little icons kind of right here at the top of the layer property manager. The first one, if you hover over it, that's your new layer icon. You can also create a new layer by holding down Alt and the N key, and that will also create one. So go ahead and click on that icon, and the first thing you have to do is give it a name. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn caps lock on, so all your layer names should be in capital letters. And so we're going to name this one Object. So just go ahead and type the word Object and then hit enter. And then moving across here, our color should be set to white, so that's good. Our line type should be set to continuous, so that's okay. We need to adjust our line weight. The line weight for object layers, for any object that's going to be on this object layer, should be 0.6 millimeters. So just go ahead and click where it says default, left click there, and scroll down and find the 0.60 millimeter line weight and go ahead and hit OK. And by the way, the line weights and the line type that we're using for each of our layers, this comes directly from ANSI standards that are put together. It follows the ANSI Y14.5 dimensioning standard, so this is a global standard that's used by industry, and so that's where I'm getting this information for line type and line weight. Okay, the next one, go ahead and go back up, click on that little new icon again, and the next one that we're going to create is going to be called center. So go ahead and type the word center. Again, it should be in all caps. Hit enter. And after you get that, we're going to go ahead and change the color of this one. So where it says white in the color column, just left click on white. It'll take you out to a color box, and all the colors that we're going to be using are going to be down in this little strip down here. And so for our center lines, we want them to be on the red. We want them to have a red color. So go ahead and click on red. You'll see that it's outlined with a little black box. Go ahead and hit OK. And that will make the color of this layer red. And then the line type, we want to use a different line type than continuous. So we're going to left click on the word continuous. It's going to take us out here to our line type selector. You'll see right now the only line type that we have loaded is continuous. So we need to come down here and click on load. And this gives us a whole list of line types that are already made in AutoCAD. They're just not part of this drawing. So we need to import in that line type. So the line type that we're going to use for our center layer is going to be the center 2 line type. And under description it should be the center 0.5x. So make sure you get the correct line type. As you see that there's 3 options there. We want the one that is center 2. So go ahead and highlight it, hit OK. And then this is going to be your line type selector box. So go ahead and click on center 2 and hit OK, and then that will assign that line type to your layer. And then the line weight, we need to adjust our line weight for this particular layer should be 0.3 millimeters. So go ahead and left click on 0.6 millimeters. It'll take you out to your selector box. Go ahead and click on 0.3 and hit OK. Alright, then the last layer that I'm going to show you how to create, and then I'm going to leave the rest up to you to recreate, is going to be our viewport layer. So go ahead and click on that new icon again. Title this one viewport. The color, we're going to make it magenta. So if you go ahead and click on mine, it's currently red. So go ahead and click on that red. And magenta is kind of this purple color. So go ahead and click on that, hit OK. Come over to your line type, and we want to make sure to set it to be the continuous line type. So again, the way I got there is just click on the line type that you see in that cell, and it'll take you out to be able to select a line type. So go ahead and make sure that that's set to be continuous. And then for line weight, we're just going to set this back to default. So again, click on that cell underneath line weight, and then scroll all the way to the top, click on default, hit OK. And then the last thing is there's this column to plot. This is a toggle. It toggles on and off. So anything we have assigned to our viewport layer, we don't want it to print when we print drawings. So if you just click on that little printer, it'll show up with a little red icon that shows anything on that layer will not be printed. Okay. And now I want you to go ahead and I'm going to show you a list of all the other layers that you need to create. I want you to create those in your templates. And then I'll show you how to save those and how to check them when you're done. So let me go to a list of the layers that I want you to create. So let me get out to that. Okay, so here's a list of all the different layers. So just start at the top and start working your way down, create each one of these, and then pay special attention to the properties for each one. So now would be a good time to go ahead and pause this to do this, and then there'll be further instructions after that. So go ahead and pause now. Okay, by now you should have all of these layers created. Now that you have them created, let's go ahead and save the document. Okay, so this is the drawing that I was working on earlier, and you should just have the one drawing open. So we want to go ahead and save this. So after you have all of your layers created in here, they should all be listed in this box. We'll just go ahead and close out of our Layer Properties Manager, come up to our Save As icon, and click on Save As. Once you get to your Save Drawing As dialog box, come to the bottom. We need to change our files of type to be a .dwt for AutoCAD drawing template. And then you're going to save your changes right back over the top of that ACAD template. So select ACAD, click on Save. It asks, do you want to replace it? Yes. And then in the template options box, go ahead and hit OK. Alright, now you'll want to go ahead and close out of this drawing and open a new drawing, and then check your layers. You'll go back into this Layer Property Manager and make sure that your layers show up. The other thing that I want you to do to complete this portion of this assignment is I want you to go to your neighbor, and I want you to pull up the properties for your drawing template, and I want you to have them check that you created all of your layers correctly with the correct name, the correct color, the correct line type, correct line weight, and the correct plot setting. And so again, I'll go ahead and pull up that particular finished product so you can pause the video here and they can come over and take a look and verify that you did it correctly. A lot of times it's easier if you have someone else check your work. It's easier for them to find mistakes rather than you. So have them check your work and then you can check their work. And after it's been verified that all of these layers are correct, then you've completed this assignment and I'll come over and check it off at that point. So have them verify it, and then that's the end of this portion of the layer video.